I'm hoping you can just give me just a little bit of background on why you started this and how it got going.
Sure,
and then we can go from there.
It's actually sort of the brainchild of my collaborator, Jen Dallas-Reyes, who's originally from here in Winnipeg and now lives in Portland, Oregon.
Okay.
And she came to the project, she's very interested in how music can make community, how bands are sort of a microcosm of society, and has done a lot of research into Alan Lomax, who did the Smithsonian Folkways recordings. And his sort of idea of folk music was that it was the music of the people, that it was the voice of the people, that it didn't subscribe to like a really particular tradition of kinds of music. And she approached me with the idea, and I was super into it. I also am a visual artist that works in that sort of realm in terms of community building and what creates connections and stuff. And also, growing up in rural Manitoba, I have quite a deeply rooted sense of being Manitoban, I guess. Yeah. But I really wanted to investigate that and look into that feeling, like what does it mean to be Manitoban, and what does it mean to be Manitoban today? Okay. And so we sort of partnered up and went on this adventure to try and find the voice of Manitoba, to find people making music, and to listen to what they have to say, and to compile it into a collection which kind of becomes an audio portrait of Manitoba.
Okay. How did you choose the artists? I mean,
it was all just really sort of who was interested in the project. We put out a call for interest. Manitoba Music helped us out spreading the word. We actually drove around rural Manitoba and just like stopped at places, and put up posters, stopped at music stores, art centers, anything and everything kind of, and then we ended up sort of with a crew of people that were interested in terms of venues and stuff, and due to limitations we couldn't quite do it like Alan Lomax did, where he actually just like traveled around for months at a time with like
doing field recordings, in
the trunk of his car, all outfitted into like a recording studio, but luckily we had an amazing sound engineer, Matt Mayer, who has a sort of traveling studio.
I know Matt,
yeah. So he came with us, and we ended up going to the Golden Prairie Art Center in Carman, Manitoba, who are amazing, and Lady of the Lake out in Brandon to try and get sort of a more western, southwestern, and then the Low Pub here in Winnipeg. And then unfortunately that was kind of as far as our reach could go. And then from there we just got the musicians to come into us. And then we just had really intense days of recording from there.
Okay. I guess, Rob, what's the appeal for you? I mean, obviously you're involved in this and that you contributed, but why did this seem like something you wanted to do?
For me, the new direction I'm taking with my music, it's I've had a lot of strange backlash towards it. Like, I think the last solo show I played with this material, I was generally hated.
Like from the rap community, you mean?
Well, no, I was playing a rock show, actually. Okay. And so I think I didn't really go over well, and I think I do actually get a better response from the hip-hop community, but I think they're still kind of weirded out. It's not really what they're used to seeing. So any opportunity where I could play in front of new people who might be open-minded to new kinds of music, and the way Kerri-Lynn explained it to me about celebrating folk music and music of the people, it just seemed like maybe it was a place where I could fit in a lot better.
Okay. Well, one of the things that I was thinking about it when I was reading about what you're doing is that, you know, back when Lomax was doing it, obviously it was a little different because this is the only way these songs were going to get recorded. It's if someone came down and these guys otherwise would be completely unheard of. Nowadays you have the internet, everyone can just record on a laptop if they want. I mean, quality's a little different here and there, but why do you think it's important to do something like this now? Because music is being archived constantly now, whereas before, the original Folkways stuff was very different. What do you think is the importance of doing something like this in today's kind of technology?
Right, I guess that maybe, I guess a few things. Part of it is that we wanted it to be a free music distribution. Okay. We wanted it to also live on vinyl and sort of give a nod to the history of where music has came from. Okay. And then as digital download, where it is at now as well. And I think it was more in terms of, as Rob said, like being a celebration celebration of the folkways, or of folk music, or of music in itself, and of Manitoba, and just bringing different voices together. So you do see a lot of like compilations, you do see a lot of demos, you do see a lot of produced albums out there, but we just wanted, it was more about the concept of bringing these people and these voices together, and putting them out there in the world together. So yeah, I think that was more it, that it is a really saturated market. It is really hard to get your voice out there, so this was just sort of recognizing some of the people that are working now.
And this is volume 1. Is there plans for more of this in the future if it goes well? Or?
So how it actually worked out is that there's 3 volumes. Due to budgetary limitations, only 1 volume is on vinyl. But all 3 volumes, are being released as digital downloads through our website. And that's a free digital download. And after that, that's going to be, I think, it for Manitoba. But the hope is to kind of spread this out and make it an actual Canadian Folkways collection where each province is visited, and something similar happens in each province, but it has its own sort of direction and voice.
Is that something that you would be doing as well, or would you connect with people in the other provinces for them to seek out their own artists?
What would likely actually happen would be that it would be Jen, my collaborator, and I was sort of the Manitoba connection for this, and then she would likely go on and work with different artists, or not even artists, but with different connections in each province to help to bring that to light. So she might work with an archivist or something like that in a different province to bring a collection to light or something. But her and I are talking about getting the Manitoba Folkways collection out past Manitoba and showing it at different art galleries around the country to sort of give it a wider spread voice, I guess, and to draw interest to the whole project.
And there's a release show coming up soon. When's that happening?
It's Friday, October 28th at the Low Pub. Doors open at 8:30, and the show will start at 9:15.
Who's playing?
A whole bunch of people, actually. There's about 25 groups in the collection as a whole, and I think about 10 different musicians or bands will be playing that evening. So it'll be quite a show.
Are you playing? Yeah. Cool. Are you going to be doing the material that you recorded for this?
I recorded 2 songs for the collection. I think one is going to be included in one of the volumes, and I'll be doing both those songs plus other songs like them.
Do you think that what you're doing now, I mean, obviously folk music is a pretty vague, nowadays it's a vague definition because it can mean anything from a guy with an acoustic guitar to what you're doing to world music to whatever. Do you think that the term folk music applies to what you're doing? I mean...
Yeah, I think it does, and I think it applied to when I was doing more traditional hip-hop stuff. I thought that was really folk music based too, just in the sense that it's music with no kind of like superficiality or no shield. It's kind of like you make songs and you sing the way you would talk on the street, the way you talk to people. It's like when you do these songs, you are talking to the people in your community.
I like that definition.
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, that's good.
So where is the album, the versions coming out on vinyl? Where is that going to be available? Is it just at the show, or will it be?
Yeah, so the vinyl is actually quite a limited edition. All of the musicians and participants in the project are getting copies of the vinyl. And then everybody that comes to the launch, it's included in the cover of the door. And then after that, we're trying to get it into a few public collections. So if people aren't able to access it, they can get it through various sort of archives and libraries and stuff. We're still working on that aspect of it. It is sponsored by Video Pool Media Arts Center, so they will have copies of it too. We have to sort of work that out as to if that will be able to be lent out, stuff like that. The vinyl will also be able, you can listen to it at the Low Pub for the next couple months. There's going to be a small listening station there. And other than that, though, it is all available as digital download on the website. And that's a big part of the project, and we consider those volumes just as important, all of them. It's just that it's always nice to have sort of a physical object to kind of reflect the project as a whole.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's...